They moved for peace, but found isolation instead. That's the hidden story behind thousands of Americans, Canadians, and Europeans who pack up their dreams, head to Costa Rica chasing paradise, and then quietly leave a few years later. Not because the beaches lost their beauty, not because the rainforests stopped singing, but because real life in Costa Rica isn't a vacation postcard. It's a place where paradise meets reality. And if you don't understand the difference, it'll eat your savings, your patience, and your sense of belonging. Let's get honest. Costa Rica is stunning. The kind of stunning that looks fake. Volcanoes with mist curling around the peaks, waterfalls that crash into turquoise pools, locals who greet you with a smile and a pura vida, meaning pure life. It's ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world. So why do so many people still leave? It starts with the dream. People come for the peace, the escape from stress, politics, cold winters, and endless hustle. They picture a hammock, ocean breeze, maybe a mango tree in the backyard. But Costa Rica isn't a retirement fantasy. It's a functioning country with real systems, real limitations, and a lifestyle that demands flexibility. What expats often forget is that paradise doesn't erase culture shock, it amplifies it. Let's talk about what draws people first, because understanding the attraction helps explain the heartbreak. Costa Rica is often called the Switzerland of Central America. It abolished its army back in 1949, and it's one of the most stable democracies in Latin America. That's rare. The government is democratic, with a strong environmental focus. About 25% of the country's land is protected as national parks or reserves. Costa Rica's literacy rate is over 97%, and education is free. Healthcare is universal and affordable. And flights from the US, from Miami, Houston, Dallas, are short. You can be in paradise before lunch. The country has worked hard to brand itself as a safe, eco-friendly alternative to the chaos some people associate with other parts of Central America. And honestly, compared to many of its neighbors, it is safer and better organized. Roads are improving. Wi-Fi is accessible even in rural areas, and cell service is decent. Technology is growing fast, with strong 4G coverage and a digital nomad visa that's attracting remote workers. On paper, it looks perfect. But here's where things shift. Costa Rica is not, and this is important, a first world country. It's what economists call a developing nation. Not poor, but not wealthy either. The GDP per capita is around $13,000 USD, compared to over $70,000 in the US. That difference shows up in ways you might not expect. Let's start with infrastructure. The main highways between cities like San Jose and the Pacific Coast are pretty good now, thanks to heavy investment. But step off those main arteries, and you'll find potholes the size of suitcases, one-lane bridges, and no street signs. When it rains, and it rains a lot, those roads flood, or worse, wash away. Deliveries get delayed. Trips that look like an hour drive on Google Maps can turn into 3 hours of swerving, honking chaos. Now imagine that as your daily life. Not an adventure, but your grocery run, your doctor's appointment, your kid's school commute. That's when paradise starts to feel different. Speaking of groceries, let's talk cost of living. Here's the irony. Costa Rica can be more expensive than the United States. Imported goods carry heavy taxes, often 30% or more. A jar of peanut butter can cost $10. Cheese? Forget it. Gas prices are among the highest in Latin America. And if you want to live like you did back home, with air conditioning, fast internet, imported wine, and Amazon deliveries, you'll pay for it. Costa Rica rewards simplicity, but most expats don't realize that until they're already knee-deep in import duties and electric bills. So why is it so expensive? The country prioritizes sustainability and taxes heavily to fund social services. It's not corruption so much as bureaucracy. There's an endless paper trail for everything, from opening a bank account to getting a cell phone plan. If you're used to click and done, Costa Rica's pace can feel painfully slow. Take banking, for instance. Local banks often require in-person visits for things that would be digital elsewhere. It can take weeks to move funds internationally due to anti-money laundering regulations. And if you don't speak Spanish, that's another layer of frustration. That brings us to language and isolation. Many expats move to beach towns like Tamarindo, Yaco, or Nosara, where English is common. But outside those hubs, life happens in Spanish. Government offices, hospitals, local markets, all in Spanish. Without it, you'll always be a tourist, even after years. That's a quiet kind of loneliness. You smile, nod, and miss half the conversation. Eventually, some people stop trying. And here's the emotional truth. Costa Rica is friendly, but it's not always inclusive. Pura vida doesn't mean locals want to adopt you into their family. It means life is good, often said to keep the peace. Ticos, that's what Costa Ricans call themselves, are kind, but reserved. They value humility and patience. They dislike confrontation. To many North Americans, that can feel like indifference. You might have a dozen friendly interactions a day, but still feel invisible. Now let's talk about the expat bubble, the community within a community. In popular towns, expats build their own ecosystems. Private schools, yoga studios, organic markets, and Facebook groups. It's comfortable, but also isolating. You're surrounded by people who are expats, but everyone's transient. Someone's always going back for medical care, for family, for paperwork. The friendships can be shallow because everyone's just passing through. That nomadic rhythm takes its toll. Speaking of healthcare, Costa Rica's system is both a blessing and a frustration. Public healthcare, called Caja, is accessible to residents and costs a fraction of U.S. prices. But appointments can take months. Specialists are few and far between outside the capital. Private care, on the other hand, is excellent and still cheaper than in the U.S., but it's not free. If you have chronic conditions or need regular prescriptions, you'll want private insurance or frequent trips north. That's another hidden cost. Then there's the economy itself. Unless you're retired or have remote income, earning money in Costa Rica is hard. Foreigners can't work legally without a permit, and local wages are low. A teacher might earn $800 a month. A lawyer might make $1,200. It's a paradise for digital nomads, yes, but not for those trying to rebuild a life from scratch. And let's be real about safety. Costa Rica is safer than many Latin countries, but it's not crime-free. Petty theft is common, yet don't leave your laptop in your car or your wallet on a cafe table. Home burglaries happen, especially in tourist zones. Police presence is light. Most expats quickly learn to install bars on windows and hire a guard, not because it's dangerous, but because it's wise. That realization that you need a gate around your dream hits hard for some. So why do people still move there, knowing all this? Because for many, the trade-off feels worth it at first. The peace is real. The mornings are quiet. The fruit tastes like sunshine. There's a simplicity in the rhythm of life that money can't buy. But as months pass, the shine wears off and reality settles in. The slowness that felt charming starts to feel suffocating. The rain that sounded romantic starts to mold your clothes. The isolation that promised clarity starts to ache like loneliness. Now let's talk about what actually makes people leave and what could make them stay. The first big reason people leave is expectation mismatch. They imagine Costa Rica as an upgraded version of their home country. Same conveniences, just prettier. But Costa Rica isn't America with palm trees. It's a country with its own rules, culture, and limitations. The solution isn't to avoid Costa Rica, it's to enter with respect, curiosity, and humility. The expats who thrive are the ones who adapt, not those who demand change. For example, instead of complaining about bureaucracy, they learn how to navigate it by building local connections, hiring a good lawyer, and practicing patience. They don't rush the process, they work with it. That mindset shift makes all the difference. The second reason people leave is loneliness. Community doesn't just appear, you build it. Those who stay long term often integrate by volunteering, learning Spanish, or joining local cooperatives. In smaller towns, something as simple as buying vegetables from the same vendor every week builds relationships. Over time, that creates belonging. Costa Rica rewards those who show up consistently. Third is financial reality. Many underestimate their expenses. Living modestly, eating local produce, skipping imports, using fans instead of AC can dramatically reduce costs. Some expats start small businesses like eco tours or guest houses, not to get rich, but to stay connected and sustain their lifestyle. The lesson? Don't import your old life. Build a new one that fits where you are. Fourth is climate shock. It's paradise, yes, but paradise comes with weather. 6 months of rain, humidity that rusts your appliances and breeds mold. Bugs, so many bugs. Some expats leave simply because they can't stand the damp. The solution isn't to fight it, it's to plan smart. Choose microclimates wisely. The mountains of Atenas or Gracia offer eternal spring weather, while coastal areas are brutally hot. Knowing your tolerance before you buy property can save your sanity. Fifth is healthcare expectations. The secret is blending systems. Use public healthcare for routine checkups and private clinics for urgent or specialized care. Many expats also keep international insurance to cover both. Understanding how to use both systems gives you stability without the wait times. And finally, cultural adjustment. Costa Rica moves on Tico time. Things take longer. People value relationships over efficiency. A contractor might not show up on Monday, but he'll greet you warmly when he does come Wednesday. You can either be frustrated or you can learn to live slower. The people who stay long term usually say that once they stopped fighting the pace, they started living more peacefully. So here's the truth. Costa Rica isn't a dream. It's a trade-off. It offers serenity, but demands adaptability. It offers beauty, but tests your patience. It offers safety, but limits convenience. And that's not failure. That's reality. The people who thrive in Costa Rica aren't escaping something. They're embracing something new. They understand that peace isn't just palm trees. It's learning to live simply, with fewer things and deeper roots. If you're thinking of moving there, here's what matters most. Don't go looking for paradise. Go looking for perspective. Visit for a few months. Rent before buying. Learn Spanish. Get to know your neighbors. Accept that your Wi-Fi might go out and your delivery might take a week. If you can still smile through that, Costa Rica might truly be your peace. And if not, that's okay too. Sometimes paradise isn't a place, it's a pace. So when people ask why so many expats quietly leave Costa Rica, the real answer is this. They came looking for escape, but found themselves. And sometimes, what you find isn't what you expected, but it's exactly what you needed. If you're seriously thinking of life outside of the US, scan to listen to our podcast or click the link in the description. I'll see you in the next video.